Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi, salam sejahtera. Very good morning. Yang berhormat Saudara Dr. Seri Makarmanyin, Minister of Education, Science and Technology Research, Honorable Ministers, Honorable State Secretary, Honorable Assistant Ministers, distinguished guests, distinguished speakers, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. May I first of all wish to bid you welcome to Sarawak for those who come from outside Sarawak, and I hope this symposium will give you an insight on the present economic situation and the direction that we have to adopt for future economic growth. I would also like to congratulate the Ministry for organizing this important symposium, which is basically talent development as a response to our transformation program, our effort to transform our economy from conventional economy to digital economy. And therefore it is very appropriate that this symposium, I hope we will discuss pertinent issues in our transformation program, and therefore also give certain inputs for us to improve what we have at the moment, and at the same time we are able to use the latest technology in all spheres of our economic activities. Let me share with you our perspective, the Sarawak government perspective in this transformation program. As you know, the whole global economic landscape has changed, where technology is the key for us to provide employment as well as income generation to our population. Number two, our economy is integrated. It's no longer isolated based on national boundaries, but more integrated with global economy. And if you want to play your part in this global transformation, you got no option but to adjust yourself to the needs of this global transformation. If you cannot adjust, then you are left behind. And time does not wait for man. And this is why the state government embarked on this journey to transform our economy towards digital economy based on two factors. One, our state of Sarawak, we got a large tract of land in terms of land area. Number two, we have these resources, which includes the people themselves. If you want to transform it, the people must be able to be transformed. And our educational system must be adjusted to the needs of this changing environment. So there you are, TVET is also important in this journey to transform our economy. Talking about digital economy, there are three areas that must be given emphasis. Number one is the importance of artificial intelligence. AI is the technology that will thrive or drive the economy. Artificial intelligence, robotic, all these must be within our command. Number two, because of AI, then IoT is the process. Internet of Things, the process that will give value to whatever resources that you have. Meaning the two must go together. Unless you know the concept of artificial intelligence, then the process is using that as part of your production line. Be it agriculture, be it manufacturing, be it services. And IoT will provide efficiency in the process. Of course, if you want to command these two sectors, you must be strong in command of language. English, whether you like it or not, you want to be patriotic or not, is the language. You go to your computer, the first thing is you have to read your manual. The manual is all in English. Even Huawei has to translate the manual from Mandarin to English. And this is the fact of life, that you must have command of language. Now, if you want to also give emphasis on TVET, you must know English to understand the science involved, the physics, the chemistry, and those relevant subjects that are very important to understand the technology itself. Unless language is there, you will be like a blind man. The story of a blind man looking at the elephant. You want to use your computer, but you do not know how to manage your computer. The same with technology now. Your iPad has changed. Even your watch also changed. Tansi Aziz was looking at my watch, because all the gadgets are there in the watch. I got the CNN news from my watch. What's going on now? And this is the technology available. And that becomes what we call information input, where you process your information and that becomes a basis for you to add value to whatever you want to do. That comes what we call big data. Big data is the in thing now. Without big data, you can analyze what you want to do. You just, with your fingertip, you get the data and you process that data, and this data become your raw material for you to produce whatever you want to produce. So in other words, TVET education is very, very important. And it is basically based on science. Of course, you also need sociology in that. Because sometimes too much technology also can create difficulty. You know, this is the question. I read one book about robots. As you know, robot now is just like a human. They got synthetic skin, they got brain, they can analyze, they can walk, they can talk, they can respond. So much so that people can fall in love with robots. That becomes a social problem, because as you know, robot cannot go old, always chanted. So they become a social problem out of technology. But setting that aside, our effort now is to transform our economy and give value to the resources that you have. And talent is very important. Talent is the key. Sarawak has a population of 2.7 million, and roughly about 50% below 45. And with a landmass of 104,000 square kilometers, and the resources that we have, this is the talent that we need to transform our economy. And our economy must be integrated with the whole global economy. That is where investment will come. Then they will merge whatever talent they have from overseas, and they also need the supporting human resource. And this is where Sarawak can produce that supporting human resource, while at the same time they can learn from their friends coming over here to work. And in terms of supply and demand, salary is based on supply and demand. Though I agree with my minister on the question of salary, but definitely the supply and demand will dictate your salary. And this also based on your talent and the expertise that you have. As far as Sarawak is concerned, we are giving full concentration on producing this talent. Skill Development Center is an institution funded by the state government to produce this basic talent. And on top of that, we have Centre of Excellence. And this Center of Excellence will explore new ways and means to provide education and also technological transfer. At the moment, Centec is working with Huawei, though Huawei seems to have certain problem at the moment, globally. But for us in Sarawak, we don't care. What we want is technology. We want the technology that Huawei has, because they have a very good hardware devices. And these devices that we need. But if we have our own people who can adapt themselves to this technology, then they can maintain the hardware and make use of this hardware, the devices that they use in the process of production. That's where IoT is important. Then we have our local universities. We work together with Australian universities, Swinburne and Curtin, and also collaboration with other institutions of learning, including, of course, our local universities. But at the same time, we want our people to be very proficient in English and understand English. English is the key. Sarawak, we are very fortunate, thank God. We still have English as our official language beside Bahasa Malaysia. And this is the basis for us to add value to our human resource talent when they know English. I was once a minister of tourism. You know the lacking of it. I just want to share with you the lacking in English, understanding of English. There is this one tour guide. We have these foreign tourists coming in. And these foreign tourists ask the guide, "Can you show me your restroom?" So what the guy did was to show a sofa. And this is your restroom. Then the guide, of course, the tourist say, "No, I need the restroom. There you are, you can rest there." This is the question of not knowing English. As you know, there are various description of toilet, there's restroom, there's latrine, WC, and these are. If you don't understand English, that's where you are. And then there is one, this Bahasa Malaysia. It happened this chap was not very fluent in English because he's a Bahasa trained medium. He temporary teaching mathematics or bahasa 4 tolak 2 in arithmetic 4 minus 2. You know, instead of 4 minus 2, he said 4 push 2. Because literally, tolak means push. So this is the problem when we don't have command of English, more so when you want to understand technology. And therefore, for us in Sarawak, we are emphasizing using English in TVET, and we are, setting up all smart study. UCTS in Cebu also smart, based on smart technology. Now we want to set up our Agriculture Institute on smart agriculture. Now everybody now is producing organic food. Organic food, you need, IoT to produce organic food, and it catches premium price for organic food. And food is a problem at the moment. I was in Tasmania, the research in Tasmania, talking about food production. The world is going to face food problem by the year 2050 because of population and environment that affect food production. According to the scientist, he was telling me that they are worried the life cycle of bees is getting shorter. Meaning, if bees life cycle is shorter, we got reduction in the population of bees, then reduction in pollination. If there is a reduction in pollination, reduction in flowering. Reduction in flowering, reduction in fruits. And fruit reduce, then the reduction in food. I was told, not bad lah, Sarawak, our bees live longer because of our natural environment. And therefore, we have to protect our environment. And then to protect environment again, you must have your devices to make sure that your environment is there, where you have to analyze the data on the question of degradation of environment and how you can really maintain the quality of our environment. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I would like to mention here that the ecosystem in TVET education is a collaboration between the academia, the academics, as well as the industry. And this is important because industry keep on changing. The success of Silicon Valley is because of Stanford University. Then the Stanford University has a program together with the industry, where the undergrad, they got certain internship with the industry. And once that is done, the undergrad will do research, or a postgraduate studies program, do research to upgrade the production of that particular industry. After all, Zuckerberg started with what? It's just sharing of notes among his peers. And what happened is that not sharing become Facebook. And now we have what we call Facebook community, which is larger in terms of population than China. You have a new community, Facebook community, started from sharing of notes. And then with this Facebook community, you transform your marketing. It's no longer marketing promotion based on the textbook that we read. Kotler. I don't know, I use Kotler. Promotion, advertising, newspaper, media, TV. Today is no longer applicable. It is all through Facebook, social media. 2 million or 2 billion Facebook community, or 3 billion. And this is the way you promote your
products. If you want to eat Sarawak durian, certain quality, try Facebook. But you must have logistic. Your logistic has to be strengthened. That is why in Sarawak's case, we have, plenty of resources that we have. The only thing is we lack talent. And this talent must develop. For all you know, we can produce all this food from Sarawak. The other day, I was talking to my officers. Reforestation. We have a hilly landscape. How are you going to plant rubber, either by terracing or plant at this very difficult landscape, hilly landscape? Then I told them, try a new approach by using drone. You fly a drone and spray all the seed. 1,000 seed, at least 500 survive enough lah. At least you have 500 trees there. Because we have the climate. They can grow by itself. So that will definitely green the area. You don't have to climb or you don't have to do terracing. It's natural growth. Because of the all plant come from seed. The only thing is you try to produce seed lah. Nursery. And this is a new way altogether. And drone is just controlled by your finger, through your remote control, and through sensor. And these are the areas that we have to look into, and we must produce those talents in our transformation program. There are few strategies that Sarawak is going to adopt. Number one is, of course, we have to transform our socio-economic development in the rural areas, including our basic digital infrastructure. Last year, I have allocated 1 billion ringgit for us to set up our towers. Next month, I'm going to one area, remote area in second Betong division to study the tower. Number two, of course, our clouding. But the question of cloud is one thing. People are also in this industry, and they are quite afraid that they can retrieve information from cloud. But I understand there is a new technology that can protect your information through cloud. And Cisco, I think, is producing that technology. In other words, it is secure, encrypted, where the information are secured. I hope Cisco really can be successful in order to use cloud as part of our information dissemination with full security. The other strategy is, of course, develop our human talent in digital transformation, digital knowledge, and that is where the rural area will be transformed based on the young population that are good in this digital transformation or digital knowledge. Number three, our strategy is to promote investment in driving our economic growth. And number four is to empower the private sector as the main engine of our growth. And finally, of course, we have to enhance our service delivery, transportation. That's where we do the development of our Penbonia Highway. Besides that, we also connect with our coastal highway. Therefore, we have two highways, and this will be connected. You open up the land, and emphasize on agriculture. While at the same time, we develop the supply of basic amenities such as water and power. Sarawak is very fortunate. We have this renewable energy based on our hydro. Of course, the other renewable source is solar. And there is an investment here in Samajaya. They produce solar. And understand that the cell in the solar will be getting smaller but strong storage of solar energy. It's just like our disk drive. In computer, our disk drive was quite big, but now it's only cheap. But they can store millions of information. I think that will also apply to our solar storage, using that cell, which is minute, and then that will be able to store solar energy and transform it as source of energy. The other one is, of course, we are developing hydrogen as another source of energy. We got a lot of water. Water, you try to separate hydrogen and oxygen. You try to get that hydrogen, and that hydrogen will turn into energy. So in other words, the resources are there. And this is the basis for us to transform our economy. And in 2018, if we were to use the conservative multiplier effect, that's by 3, if you inject our investment in digital related industry, our contribution to GDP will be about 2 to 3%. That will give us about 3 over billion. This is only the start of it. Because when I became CM 2 years ago, I just started digital economy. But with all this infrastructure in place, I'm sure that we have cluster, and this cluster will definitely transform our whole economy in Sarawak. And of course, I hope we have this what we call digital center or analytic center, and this center will definitely become a source for us to get the right information. That is the big data, and this data will definitely be able for our scientists to transform into high impact product. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our economic digital strategy 2018 to 2022, and I hope by then we have enough talent to transform our economy. And this symposium is very important for us, and I look forward to the inputs given arising from this symposium, so that we are able to match job with the need of the economy. Otherwise, the level of job and the level of training mismatch, then you got problem of unemployment. Nowadays, people want to get fast money without any talent. So they become a problem throughout the world, not only Sarawak, throughout the world. They will go somewhere just based on their talent that they have. And therefore, for Sarawak, the government that I lead is giving emphasis on talent development, so that when this, about 50% of our population, will become the driving force to transform our economy. Of course, we invite other people also to come in to help us. With that, thank you very much to the speakers to attend this symposium, and I look forward to whatever recommendation that they have, and then together with the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology Research, we'll be able to formulate and update our policies that will definitely transform the whole of Sarawak's economy and integrate with the local global economy. With that, once again, thank you very much, and I wish you all success.